We just reached 2.6 million unique players on the Roblox game I created in this video. To give you an idea, I literally have 3 times more subscribers on my Roblox group than on my channel, and YouTubers from all over the world with millions of subscribers have made videos about my game. But this success was far from guaranteed. For 2 to 3 weeks, the game blew up in France thanks to my video. We got buyout offers and so on, but everything quickly died down. The stats dropped from green to red as player numbers fell. We considered stopping updates, but we didn't, which makes it more interesting. I'm going to reveal to you with complete transparency all the strategies we used to launch our game internationally, the offers we received, the messages from the official Roblox team, and of course the total amount of money the game generated. Quick disclaimer, this video's purpose isn't to show off. I find the journey interesting with plenty to learn, which is why we'll review what happened. On this channel, the goal is to be 100% transparent about the projects we work on, and it's great when there's a success, and it can be useful to you whether you follow Roblox or not. To follow this video, you don't even need to have seen the first video or even remember the concept of the game. Basically, the context is that it's a game called Build Your Gym, where you manage a gym. There's a treadmill, there are boxes moving along the treadmill, you can buy these boxes to get machines, and you can place these machines in your gym to earn more money and buy better boxes. It's a classic tycoon game. My video was released on January 30th, 4 months ago. Tracking daily active players shows a clear spike thanks to the video. It launched here. First, you'll notice the boost didn't last. What's interesting is how the game stayed successful afterward, even though I never mentioned it to my audience again. Well, the decline, we more or less knew it was going to happen like that. We were going to face 2 problems. First, I have a French-speaking community, so my game worked really well after the video in the French-speaking world. That's just 3 to 5% of Roblox players, not enough for the global algorithm. Also, well, I don't intend to be a Roblox channel, so I didn't talk about the game again or keep up the hype. Naturally, over time, people get bored of the game and leave, and it doesn't get renewed. In short, it's a great boost, but it doesn't help bring in new players over time, and that's why, well, you can see it clearly on the graph, it's very flat, there aren't any new players. Well, until a specific event happened here, which pushed the game into the algorithm. The period after my video still allowed us to optimize the game. We added quite a few elements with updates that increased our stats. These are the stats you can find on our Roblox developer page. It's the dashboard I showed you in my first video. And what matters most to us as developers are these little boxes right here. The average playtime, the percentage of players who come back on the first day, the percentage who return a week later, the revenue per player, and also the click-through rate on our thumbnails. It's these statistics that determine whether we'll be boosted or not in the algorithm, and so whether we'll get new players or not. For each statistic, we're competing with the top 100 games in the same category as us. Roblox ranks us from red to green based on that. Green means it's working and the algorithm favors us. Here are some concrete examples, since examples are clearer than words, of things we've done to improve the metrics for the average playtime variable. The goal is to add new sources of dopamine. So we added a progression system, new bosses, more frequent events that change the world, a gift that unlocks after staying connected for 15 minutes to make sure people log back in on the first day. We improved onboarding by optimizing each step of the tutorial to make it clear, and we added a starter pack to increase retention after 1 week. We added rewards if you log in every day for a week. There's also a daily quest system to complete. Finally, to increase the number of players who spend, we optimized the shop quite a bit. We changed the prices, we looked at what worked better, we added basic skins to create new things to unlock. All of that worked really well. We went from orange to green on most of the stats, except for one that really penalized us and kept us from getting into the algorithm. It's the qualified plays rate. I don't want to bother pronouncing the English. This metric really penalized us. It's the percent of players who click our game when it appears in the algorithm. If this variable is low, there aren't many solutions. Like a poorly performing YouTube video, we'll test new titles and thumbnails. Actually, even if we max out all the other stats, if players don't click, it's useless. The algorithm creates a kind of natural competition. If a game similar to ours, with good stats, has 10 times more chances to attract a player when it's recommended, then obviously it's going to recommend that game and not ours. I'll show you the many compositions we've tested. Each time we used what seemed to work on the platform. Roblox makes it easy to test many thumbnails at once. And so very quickly we could see which thumbnails worked and which ones didn't, and we replaced the ones that didn't work. The other thing we did was change the name of the game. It's subtle, but we went from Your Gym to Build Your Gym. Same thing, we noticed it was a bit of a trend. It immediately puts us in the action by saying Build Your Gym, helping players imagine themselves. One day we found a thumbnail that broke records. It's simple, from the second day we saw that it was getting unusually high stats, and after 5 days we saw that the graph showing how much our game is recommended in the algorithm was finally starting to go up. A week later, our number of players literally skyrocketed. We were hitting 1 to 2,000 players connected at the same time. It's crazy. All that with this freaking thumbnail that doesn't even look impressive. impressive. Honestly, I wouldn't have bet on it. It's simple. That's the magic of Roblox. It's unexplainable, but this thumbnail got many more clicks than the others. And if we look back at the graph from the very beginning, well, we can clearly see that we've moved into a second phase, a phase where the game was finally starting to work. Alright, very good, we managed to get into the algorithm, but what happened next for the game to keep growing organically? Well, I have two answers, and the first one is social media. The algorithm brings in players, which is great, but as we saw with my first video, social media works just as well, and on that front, we didn't really use any special techniques. We were lucky enough to get into a kind of virtuous circle that I think is common to all games that start to take off. Number one, people attract people. So if we have a lot of players, we're more likely to get players to come back and stay on our game. It creates a kind of social proof. Then, moving forward, the players themselves will talk about the game to their friends. If they like it, there's word of mouth, and that's why on Build Builder Gym we added a little cash boost if someone is on the same server as a friend. If you click, you can even invite your friends. But the third point, and honestly the most interesting one, is YouTube and TikTok creators. If a creator sees that a game is starting to gain traction, they'll think the game is popular, and so they might potentially make videos about it. People from other countries started creating tutorials, let's plays, and tip videos, and as a developer it's really funny to see, like especially this, for example, code available in April 2026. You see Americans typing Ion to get an Ion code, or even Litsu to get a basic box with the shop's code system, except they have to write that without understanding where it comes from and they can't get the reference. Like, the Litsu code, I created it during a Litsu livestream because he was testing my game and I wanted to troll him. And there are people who found that and are making tip videos about it, but it's just wild. And you see big creators like him, Bax, with 3.19 million subscribers who got 60,000 views, Azrelich with 735,000 subscribers who got 100,000 views, Senpai, in Limited, 1.65 million subscribers, 220,000 views, or even Quacks, 387,000 subscribers, 45,000 views. Imagine the free publicity that brings us. It's really like a cheat code combined with the algorithm's boost. And like I told you, we didn't necessarily do anything to encourage content creation, but it's still something I want to recommend you do. Whether it's Roblox projects or any other project, the creator economy is really powerful. Having creator ambassadors, creating partnerships, offering them tools that will help them make videos about your content. Contacting creators to share your game is very effective. Lastly, I have one more point that I believe helped keep players engaged. And most importantly, to make them profitable financially. You'll quickly understand where I'm going with this, and it will make sense to you because it's literally something that all the top games in the rankings do every week. Live ops comes from live operations. It's everything you need to do after you've released a game on the platform to keep it alive. It's so important that Roblox dedicated an entire page to it on its wiki, and it's pretty easy to sum up. On one hand, it involves releasing updates very regularly to improve your game. On the other hand, it's about hosting a live event with each update. These admin events are well known and highly profitable. We're not doing updates every 6 months like traditional games. On Roblox, they suggest updating at least once a week. Usually at the same time in order to create a regular meeting with your community. In this case, for Builder Gym, it's every Sunday at 6 p.m. Of course, you might suspect it, but with this pace, we're not going to revolutionize the game with every update. A Builder Gym update, thanks to our type of game, is very simple. Each time we choose a theme, so for this update, we chose the theme France. Yes, baguette. And we almost always add 2 new boxes, 6 new machines, a new quest, a new base skin, and a new rebirth. Every other week, we test a new mechanic and update the game's icon and thumbnail based on the theme. As these examples show, the changes are very subtle. Our current players recognize us by this icon. So making too drastic a change is taking unnecessary risks as long as the game is working. As you can see, all the updates we've made since the beginning are starting to add up. We've really had a lot of them. And the question we can ask ourselves is, how long does it take to make an update? Well, not long. We calculated that an update takes us about 5 to 8 hours of development and modeling per week, so you'll see that compared to what the game generates, that's very little time, and so it's very profitable. Right after releasing an update, we then organize a live event, the admin abuse. I'll show you a clip right now of how it goes. Basically, we talk with the players live, with messages broadcast to everyone. We try to create some hype and activate special events. We spawn ultra rare boxes, we give the impression of experiencing a unique moment, and all of that creates hype. Roblox players love that. Roblox games often break player records, sometimes nearing 1 million simultaneous players, usually during an admin abuse. This highlights the buzz it generates. Our record is reaching almost 8,000 players connected at the same time. That happened a few weeks ago, and it feels strange to say that because honestly, it's just unreal as a statistic. I never thought I would reach that one day. And spoiler, well, financially, you can see it right away. Actually, during admin abuse, we create what's called FOMO, the fear of missing out. We introduce rare boxes and events with rare mutations, making people fear missing out if they don't buy. If you check the live purchase page, you'll see people buying constantly. So they're only paying a few cents, don't worry, it's not a huge amount. But a few cents multiplied by thousands of players. That means in 30 minutes, well, you can easily generate hundreds of euros. Now, the limit with all this is that you can't overdo it. If you spawn too many boxes, well, you'll ruin the game's economy, and so the game will die. So we limit ourselves to like 2 or 3 really rare boxes in an event. The ultimate question you might be asking yourself with all this is how much money such a game generates, or even maybe how much such a game could be sold for if we decided to sell it. We've actually received offers to buy the game. On a more anecdotal note, we were even contacted by the official Roblox developers. They wanted to make a presentation video about our game, so that hasn't happened yet. We still need to get to it, but it's super random. And honestly, I think it shows a kind of recognition from Roblox towards the work of developers. So I thought it was cool to mention it. Before I show you the numbers, there's a super important thing to keep in mind. I only own 30% of my game. It might seem counterintuitive, but we split the shares with my team. That way they're motivated to create good updates and maintain the game. So if you want to know what really goes into my pocket, you have to multiply the numbers by 0.3. We have 2 sources of income. The smaller one is creator rewards. It's Roblox's rewards program for games, which is based on quite a few variables. But basically, the more players we have, the more we're rewarded. And with that, we've generated 1,180,000 Robux since the beginning. That amounts to 3,387.6 euros. On top of that, there are developer products. Those are all the in-game purchases. There. That amounts to 8,360,000 Robux since the beginning. That's a total of 27,370 euros. And so, a total result of 31,246 euros, which is huge. I've never done a project that brings in so much, especially compared to the time invested. The idea now is to manage to reinvest this money to try to create better games. More original ones, with probably more added value. Especially since we know, unfortunately, that it won't last. We're aware of that with this game. It's likely to die overnight in the coming months, and there's nothing we can do. We could have been tempted to sell the game. As I said, buying and selling working games is common on Roblox. Major studios prefer purchasing successful games over risking the development of a possible flop. To give you an idea, the biggest offer we received was 26,000 euros to buy 100% of the game, which is also a huge amount. I'm not going to lie about that. Even though we turned it down, we wanted to keep control of the game. But also, to be honest, right now the game is doing really well. Maybe it will die soon, but we prefer to take the risk and hope to earn more, which is not obvious at all, and you'll understand why. We've had a simple, repetitive routine since the game launched, and feedback on Discord shows people love it. The community's enjoyment matters most. But honestly, the game probably won't grow anymore. I think we've really maxed it out with the updates, and we can't do more without risking ruining the game and possibly killing it. That's why we're working on a new game at the same time. The builder gym type follows a trend. We've noticed that all our competitors in this trend are starting to die out. Games that once had thousands of players now have only a few hundred. Paradoxically, Builder Gym is thriving today. Still, we know what's ahead for us. We're actually almost impressed that we're not in decline yet. I'm impressed. Really grateful. Honestly, you have no idea. I'm grateful to all of you and also to the game team. Huge shout out to them. We're very down to earth and we know that Roblox games can die out very quickly, and that's completely okay. Actually, Roblox is comparable to TikTok and games are extremely short-lived. When you have a game that works, you have to maximize it. You have to make it last as long as possible. But at the same time, you have to start developing a second game or invest in games that are working. In case your first game starts to die, it can happen very quickly. With that, this was Aaron. See you.